Hi, I'm CJ and this is my RC channel. I went ahead and tested the servo, as you should always do, to make sure you're centered, even though I was pulling one off and putting another one on. I wanted to be sure. And these are really sturdy. I'm going to keep the other two sizes, the other two tooth counts, in case I swap out this servo for some reason down the road, something smaller and lighter maybe. But in any event, I don't think there's any reason to go with aluminum for these. I don't think there would be a benefit. It's a hard plastic, and I doubt there'd be any flex. At this point, you're more likely to have flex somewhere else, like on the swing arms here, which are available in aluminum, but I'm not going to bother with that. Again, the load on these tires on asphalt just isn't that high. I don't see any reason to worry about stiffening it up, and it is a $150 touring car. It's not a $500 car, so I don't see the need. And if at some point I do decide to order a set, no one scold me for it, okay? Someone actually gave me a hard time for, in the video on the Technos, talking about the, you know, how the aluminum trees, the aluminum shock towers were really light, and probably not the best place to spend money swapping them out for carbon. And then I bought a set of carbons because I found them at a great price. I went ahead and grabbed them. And it's like, well, you know, why did you do that? And it's like, well, just because I recommend keeping the aluminum ones if you're on a budget, and I bought myself the carbon fiber ones, doesn't make the first piece of advice any less relevant. I mean, give me a break, guys. Anyway, you know, I try not to hold stuff like that against people. It is what it is. Everybody's got their opinions, and I certainly value everybody's opinion. You guys are all free to do what you want. I certainly recognize that not everybody here is a racer. Not everybody is going from that mindset. That's me personally. I do a bit of bashing, but generally I want to go to a track. I want to get times. I want to improve the vehicle, improve my driving skill. I don't just want to huck it off the biggest mound I can and see if it'll still run later. And that's fine. If that's what you like doing, that's great. You know, it's your money, it's your cars. Do whatever you guys want. Have fun. That's the whole idea, is to have a good time. I just have a different focus than some people, and that's great. So let's see. I need to set up a turnbuckle, and that's going to involve this little guy here. That's an interesting ball socket there, because it eliminates the need for a Z-bend or something like that, and still provides a the ability to adjust a turnbuckle. Because if you've got a Z-bend on an arm, you can't use it. You can't make it into a turnbuckle. You'd have to take one end off and make, you know, adjustments from there. So let's see, we have a little turnbuckle here, and do they give us, I've got 3 of the standard size left over, but I'm looking, well, no, it looks like it's the same. Okay, in this drawing here, it just looks a little shorter, and I was curious if that was going to be a thing, if there was going to be a short one of these, like something like that long instead of this long. Didn't know. This is just a little thing I do with turnbuckles when I'm setting these things up. Just one turn around in there without a lot of pressure. It doesn't take off a lot of material. but it helps the threads bite in right away. Some people use old chapstick, stuff like that, to lubricate the plastic. Whatever works for you. Let's see, gotta figure out the twist on that. And I gotta say, this little tool has just come in really handy. I love it. I'm definitely gonna keep that for future projects. Now, they say 7.4 millimeters, and that's going to be something I think that's going to vary on a per servo basis. So I'm going to just leave this as is for now, and I will figure that out. I'll adjust it as needed when I get there. So let's see how this goes together. Okay, we're going to need this piece here. We need our fiberglass top piece. We need this piece. Just seeing if there's any obvious difference between one side or the other. Okay, and that's going to be 3x6. I don't like that. I'm not going to use 3x6s. I've got some hardware of my own. I'm going to do at least a 3x8 into there. You see, let me just show you what I'm doing, okay? Our servo is going to mount here and here on these plastic pieces. This piece is going to screw onto here. And that's all the threads we have anchoring this plastic piece. Now, there's not a second hole up here. There's just the one down here. So this has a lot of leverage, and I don't want that to tear free. So I'm going to go ahead and use a piece of my own hardware, and that will give me an extra 2 millimeters of thread, and I think that will make it much more sturdy. I think it's worth doing. You guys can do as you wish, but that's my recommendation. I can tighten that down a little more once the servo's attached, but that's just going to make a stronger connection there. Oops. Just keep fumbling. Okay, and that is going to be the same situation. Now, yeah, that should go down into that one. It'll definitely, that'll work. Okay, now something is going to go in the top here. I'm guessing that is for our antenna. Yes, it is. And that is... Where has that piece gotten off to? I suppose it's possible I left a piece on the trees. Let's have a look. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Ah. I left a part on the tree. Bad. Okay. Learn from my mistake there. Don't do that. Because let's say I had done this and then stopped working for a while, not gotten around to this, and then thrown out the trash. That could have been tragic. So yeah, always make sure to check your parts trees when you cut stuff off to make sure you've gotten everything. Now, I may not even need to run an antenna, but I'm going to go ahead and put this on here for the time being. And that use it. Unbelievable. Okay, you guys got to see this, okay? The screws that hold our servo mounts to this bracket, they say we should use 6mm screws. For this, guess what? An 8 millimeters of threads to hold on a little antenna. I'm going to use a 6, just to be contrary. Because I've already done 8s on the others. I find that so funny. It's like something that has no structural value to the vehicle, you give it an 8mm screw. And things that hold on our steering mechanism, our steering servo, well, we'll just use 6s. That'll be fine. I'm sorry. I don't mean to pick on 3Racing. I am really delighted with this kit so far. I mean, we'll see how it runs, but I'm really impressed at how easily everything has gone together. This has been a really fast build. The fit on the parts is outstanding. It really is. Everything goes right together. I haven't had to shave or tweak or file or sand anything. Nothing. Everything goes together. So, okay, let's see. What direction does this face? Okay, so I need to turn my servo arm around. And what would they have? Aha, nice. See, this is the kind of thing I like. What do they want us to anchor this with? 8s. 8s. Excellent. At least they gave us 8s for those. Look at these. Nice, flat aluminum flathead washers. This nice big surface is going to hold our servo down. Not some button head where the button head is going to squeeze through the plastic and damage the servo. We've got these nice washers to anchor our servo securely. That's a nice little add-on for such an inexpensive car. See, look at that. That is not going to go through the plastic and have the servo come loose on us. That's very, very nice. Use this a little bit. Simming it up. And servo obviously goes on this side over here. No spacers or anything. Okay. Ah! Yow. Pressing against there. Let's see how I can do this. Ah, I really squished my flesh. There we go. And 3x6s. I'm going to hold this whole thing on with two 3x6s. I don't think so. I'm using 8s. And so far, those are about the only changes I've made to this kit, and that's pretty rare. I usually find all manner of things I want to switch around. Wow, they could have made that a little longer and it would have held 8s. Now there's the more connection down here. I wonder what goes in there. That'll help hold things down. Okay. Let's see, because there's this bracket here has 2 more holes here and here, and there's 2 matching holes here and here. It should be no big deal to put some in, but I wonder what they connect to. So before I put anything in there, I want to see if those spots are anything's being bolted onto them. Okay, no, it's not the battery. Nope, nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple more 6s in there just to make sure that thing stays anchored. They may see there's a bunch of holes up here. One option that some of these cars have is like a little roller bearing to kind of make sure the belt stays on track, or a little bit of tensioning. But this car does not come with such an option. That doesn't mean that they're not out there and available in either aftermarket or for a higher end model of this car, because a lot of these parts are used in its upper level vehicle. This is the low end of the Sakura models, and for example, all the bulkheads up here where the diffs sit, all that can be gotten in aluminum. But is it really worth it? Is it necessary? I mean, the car seems really solid as is, so we'll see how it holds up. Okay. Now we're on to receiver and speed control and batteries. Okay, fan mount. I think I might have a fan. I'm gonna pause up and I'm gonna root around for a minute, see if I can find a fan. Okay, I've got a couple of fans. Got this itty bitty little fan here. Don't think I'm gonna use that. I got this larger fan, which actually is what seems to fit in here. This is our fan bracket. Now, the thing is that the mounting point, or at least the one in the instructions, has it ahead of the ESC, the ESC being in between the motor and the fan. Now, my electronic speed control has a fan built into its heatsink, so I don't need it there. So what I will probably do is move the fan, probably mount it to one of these holes over here, right here, if it will fit, and that would put it right up against the motor, and the motor has a lot of open space to allow air to pass into it and cool it, so that would be ideal. So hopefully I can make that fit there one way or another. And as long as I was getting things out, I grabbed my receiver and a brand new transponder to set up with this. And this is for my my Fly Sky 6-channel radio, which I have been really pleased with so far. I haven't used it at a track where I've got dozens of other people around with their radios on, but fits nice in the hand. I added this little foamy wheel thing. I like the wheel to be a little larger, and it's got all the features that you would want in a good radio, and it's very inexpensive. They're about $60, $70 with a receiver. You can't beat it. I'm going to go ahead and put the battery mounts together. Now it looks like you've got options. Yeah, you can run a shorty or a full-length pack. So let's see how this whole assembly goes together. Let me grab a battery so I got one. I know I've got a shorty up here. Actually, that's a really small shorty. Another really small shorty. Let me just get a standard shorty. Good old Orions. So 5500 LiPo. And I think I'm going to set this up to run shorties. I'd rather... I mean, that's a big weight difference. So, and I've definitely got enough shorties. Yeah, and it seems like a lot of the people are running the low center of gravity and the, like these batteries right here, or the ProTech, that's a 41. That's a little bigger. This is a 4600 milliamp battery, 2S, and that is a big difference in the center of gravity. Now this is a 55, so it's 900 milliamps bigger, but you know, given the choice, if I can get to the end of a heat or the end of a race with this, without bottoming out the battery, I'd rather go that way, and you know, keep the weight as close to the ground as possible. So I may give that a try. I'm going to set this up for that, since I'm probably going to be running the shorties in my GT car also. So I've got to, it's going to be a lot of swapping around. Let's see. Trim these up. Let's get an idea how many of these tabs I'm going to need here. Well, I'm definitely not going to need the spacer, that's for sure. I'll probably need to put something under there. Okay, it's not a bad battery system, but it doesn't give us a lot of adjustments. I'd have preferred a battery strap. setup and may have to rig something at some point. But I'll show you how this looks as I get it together here. Now, I don't know where our battery stop is to keep it from impacting into our belt here. There should be something. Okay, let's just keep putting it together and figure it out. So you basically adjust this with these teeth here in between. Where's the other piece? There's the top piece, like that. And there's a bottom piece, which is running around on the table here somewhere. And then these go on top to kind of hold the battery down, but I don't see what keeps the battery from moving inward. Oh, it was in my hand. So you that gets locked in there, and that sets your distance as to how far the battery can move outward. But there isn't, I don't see what keeps it from just banging into the belt. Get a look at these instructions a little closer. I think I see, said the blind man. There are these spacers right here, and there's a hole in the mount right here, and then there's another hole over here, and that's what leads me to believe that those go there and there, but that's not going to work for the shorty for its length. You're only going to have one here, so something's got to be put in place. I'll have to figure that out. So let's see. Yeah, there's the spacer right there. And a 10mm flathead. So that prevents the battery from going over there, but it doesn't prevent it from moving. And well, it probably shouldn't, but yeah, we'll see. Okay. Trying to loosen these screws enough that I can slide that arm across the teeth. Without having to take the screws out altogether. I'm trying to find the sweet spot. That looks like the right way. A little bit of Velcro on the bottom of the battery might be the ticket. Now, this is something you're going to be adjusting from time to time, so I highly recommend that you don't strip these out, don't over tighten. And this is the kind of thing that can get broken in a side-on impact, and might not be a bad idea to get some spares on order so you got them. Yeah, see that? I mean, yeah, I'm definitely gonna put some gonna need something under here. Might just run a button head through there. Yeah, that's gonna work. So what I'll probably need to do is put on some foam on like the back side of the battery here to take up this space here, maybe a little on both sides to just put it in the middle, and maybe a little Velcro under the battery just to be sure. Using the button head screw as a spacer seems to work okay. Holds it down quite nicely. And this thing obviously was just not designed around some of the newer batteries. Well, that's pretty solid. I mean, it could still slide and hit the belt, so Velcro is definitely going to be necessary. Okay, let's see if we can't find our... Let's see, mounting the motor. 3x6s. Now I can't get correct about the motor position because I don't have any pinion gears handy. But I can ballpark it. Okay, we have a couple of options. In the diagram, they show 2 screws through the lower slot. That's this one down here. So that would basically be grabbing the motor like this. I don't like that. I would want at least 1 screw up here, and might do all 3. But I'll start, for the moment, with one high and one low, and then when I get my pinion gears in here in a couple of days, I can do a more accurate motor fitting. And I should be putting a little Loctite on these. There we go. You also have another slot over here on this side of the motor mount that you could reach through one of these gear holes, possibly. I would stick to this one and then the bottom slot and do at least 1 and 2, if not 1, 2, and 3, and then you can slide the motor forward and back to make your gearing adjustment. And I keep hitting the camera. Sorry, guys. Not trying to give you seizures. As far as it can go to that side. I'll just do 2 for the moment. Okay, next question. Can I mount the fan Yes. Yes, I can. That's going to work great. Wish I could make it a little lower, but I would need to drill a hole. And I don't want to do that right now. I also need to take this top plate off, or at least move it so that I can get to that, get a screw in there. Three by 12s. And I may need to change the plus and minus on this and reverse the fan. Might as well put the wire down low. Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and pause. I gotta like move hardware around, move the electronics around, figure out where I want to put stuff, and I'll show you how that comes up. If anything interesting comes forward, I'll absolutely include it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click like and please subscribe to my channel.